Hello, folks. My name is Jenna from Golden State Times. I hope that you guys are having a blessed day. Today, we have a video of all of the failures of the Biden administration in the last 6 months. There's a ton. As you guys can see, this video is 8 minutes long. There's so many failures from this guy and his administration that we just couldn't make it any longer because it would just go on forever. But Biden is known for a lot of stupid things. He's a very, very stupid guy, from forgetting his own cabinet secretaries' names, to forgetting his secretaries' names and where they work, to completely forgetting where he's at. This is a list of all of the failures of the Biden administration in the last 6 months. We hope that you guys enjoy, and make sure you guys please share this video on social media. Make sure you guys click the thumbs up button, you follow us on Twitter, and you like us on Facebook. If you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Enjoy, guys. Peace.
More than 6 months since the Biden administration and our Democratic-led Congress were sworn in. So let's zoom out from the daily political drama and ask the simplest possible question. How's it going? How's the leadership working out for middle-class families? Or put more directly, what big aspects of our national life could Democrats even claim are headed in the right direction on their watch? In January, our Democratic friends inherited the most favorable trend lines that any incoming administration could possibly ask for. 3 safe and effective vaccines had been discovered, developed, and were already spreading across our country. Our economy was packed with dry powder and ready for an historic comeback. It was already morning in America when this Democratic government showed up. Mostly what they had to do was not get in the way. So where are we 6 months in? The U.S. economy has broken some recent records, mostly the wrong ones. Inflation just clocked its steepest 12-month increase in more than a decade. The month before, a separate measure of core inflation rose at its fastest rate since 1992. Higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, soaring costs for everything from household purchases to automobiles to housing itself. Now, inflation is painful enough, but it isn't the only problem. Employment growth has not been fast enough. Last quarter, GDP grew much more slowly than anticipated. 6 months and trillions of dollars of government spending into the Democrats' efforts at a recovery, and Gallup says America's economic confidence is still only neutral. We're not where we need to be. What about the rule of law? There's still an historic surge in people trying to come across our southern border. But administration officials have spent far more energy denying responsibility for the problem than trying to fix it. Catch and release is still the name of the game. According to news reports, out of tens of thousands of illegal immigrants who've simply been released into the interior of our country without a court date, now listen to this, just 13% have shown up at their mandatory meeting with ICE afterwards. So the border is functionally open. Especially absurd at a time when many leaders are asking American citizens to step up various COVID precautions. Not much testing, social distancing, or mask wearing is happening in the Rio Grande Valley. Meanwhile, a surge in violent crime, including record-breaking murders in many places, has too many citizens afraid of their own city streets. Perhaps our Democratic friends think foreign policy is going well. I sure wish it were. The president's rush pullback from Afghanistan has left our friends and partners in the lurch. and rolled out a red carpet for a Taliban takeover that is already underway. Its approach to Iran appears to be promising big concessions to our adversary for no reason, even as their terrorist proxies continue to attack U.S., Israeli, and Arab interests all across the region. While I appreciate the administration's tough talk on Russia and China, those words ring hollow when they fail to impose real consequences on cyber attacks and propose to cut our defense spending after inflation. So what about COVID-19 itself? Certainly the pandemic is not the fault of any administration or any political party. But this administration boasted with great confidence they had a playbook that was guaranteed to crush the virus. They've continued to roll out the vaccines the prior administration developed, and for that they certainly deserve some credit. But especially recently, Americans have received far too many mixed messages and muddied communications about masks, vaccines, and what risks remain and for whom. Meanwhile, the Democrats' allies and the teachers' unions continue to speculate publicly that perhaps schools may not remain open this fall after all. They're flirting with another lost year for our kids. Even when there are safe and effective vaccines that can reduce adults' risk of grave illness to almost nil, and when we know that mercifully this virus has mostly spared children from serious illness the whole time. So look, everyone is rooting for America. Everyone is rooting for the recovery that middle-class families deserve. But that is not what Democrats' decisions and policies are delivering. No wonder America's optimism has been in free fall the last few months. One survey found that a majority, 55%, are pessimistic about where the country is headed in the coming year. That pessimism has increased almost 20 percentage points since just this spring. The soul of America has not been restored. It is anxious. It is uneasy. And in too many cases, the more the Democrats' policies have taken effect, the more problems American families have faced. Now, certainly, the 6-month mark still provides plenty of time for my Democratic colleagues to recalibrate. We have already notched some bipartisan wins here in the Senate. Our colleagues could put away the partisan approach that has already supercharged inflation, slowed rehiring, and is setting back our national security. But alas, our Democratic colleagues are signaling they're still addicted to going it alone. My friends on the other side are signaling that a few days from now, just a few days from now, they'll begin the process of ramming through reckless, multi-trillion-dollar taxing and spending spree that will stick middle-class families with higher costs, more inflation, fewer jobs, and lower wages. It's not the strategy that will turn around Democrats' lackluster report card. It will do just the opposite. It almost seems designed to make every problem that families are facing considerably worse. It would meet significant inflation with another massive avalanche of printing and borrowing. It would hammer a tenuous economic recovery with historic tax hikes and job-killing Green New Deal regulations. It would, for some reason, respond to a live border crisis with a big amnesty to lure even more people here illegally. No working American in Kentucky or anyone else would look at a plan like this and get on board. And neither will, Mr. President, a single Republican. If Washington Democrats really want to take the remarkable head start they inherited at the dawn of this recovery year and squander it through bad policy, they'll need to do it all alone.